Alright, and welcome back to Havok for the holidays. I hope you had a good Christmas. I'm hoping you're going to have a Happy New Year. A Happy New Year for everyone. That would be a nice world, wouldn't it? A little conflict makes things nice, more exciting, but nobody wants an unstressful year to everyone. There you go. That's my wish for everybody that watches is an unstressful new year. Okay, get that bullshit out of the way. All that sappy, sentimental stuff. This is pro wrestling, damn it. There's no room for being sentimental and wishy-washy. Alright, so this is, of course, Rory Fakestone, your Stalwart heavyweight or open weight division champion, taking on the challenger Benny Hanna on Havok for the holidays, or what will hopefully be an annual New Year's special, or Christmas time New Year's show. And we do have some backstory between these two. This isn't just a match out of nowhere. Sometimes I just don't have a whole lot to say about the individuals in the matches for you, because there's not a whole lot to tell. They're competitors in a competition. It's kind of like, if you watch baseball, some of the great feuds of, football and all that, some of the great feuds of all time, but then there's just games. It's not like you can go, oh yeah, these two teams have been feuding with each other for 30 damn years. There's a lot of history we can talk about there, and then they go up against somebody else, and it's like, they've had games before, But these two, they do have backstory. They used to be a tag team, very strong tag team, before we instated the titles, right at the beginning of our tag team division when we were just getting it put together. We had the Klaus brothers, and let's see, we had Luke and a Far Out Man came in. Let me find my little cheat sheet of all of our tag teams here. We got so much stuff going on, I can't keep track of everything all the time. And we did have some other guys that tag teamed together once in a while. That's how Frankie came in. He and Voivox came in as a tag team. Uria and Alfred Adams both came in as a tag team. We had Albino and Barricade. They came in around that time as a tag team. They still compete largely as a tag team. And that was about it for the tag team division. We didn't have, Cool and Fool hadn't come in yet. They didn't come in until after the titles came in. And, Corby and the Fool. Some of our other tag teams like Mark and Jack, they didn't come in until fairly recently, along with Bob and Wade. They all came in together. PewDiePie and the Fringe came in around the same time too, of course, making a move from being just YouTube celebrities to AZW Pro Wrestling E-Fedland. And I'm sorry, I'm not calling a match. Everything that's going on here, of course, is exciting. Benny's busted open. But, I'm trying to get into the backstory, tell you some of the history, since this is the first time you guys have seen Benny out here, and this is the first time you've seen these two in the ring together. So, yeah, they were one of the very first tag teams we had in the company, before we had the tag team division championship belts, because we only had a few teams. We didn't feel like, okay, we can't really support a title belt on just 3 or 4 teams. So, and I know that we had more than that there, but, even Frankie and Voivox and Yuri and Alfred, they came in tagging together, but they still mainly competed in singles competition, and they've never really competed heavily in the tag team division. We only had very few dedicated tag teams. But, headbutt to the ass. That was not nice, and Well, he's taunting. Gonna pitch through. Oh, but Rory gets out of the way of the big swan dive headbutt, and Benny just ate it. The mat, that is. Oh, there's only 2 count there. But a headbutt to the ass. Benny can be really, really mean sometimes. Rory's usually a pretty cool dude. But Benny, he can be an asshole. So, anyway, back to the back of the story there for y'all. So these two came in as a tag team, and they were dominating. They beat just about everybody. The Kloss brothers lost to them a few times. Everybody went down before these guys. Everybody figured, okay, as soon as we have enough tag teams in the company, as soon as we have a title, being introduced, there'll probably be a tournament or something. These guys were the ones pegged to take the titles first. Then they had a meltdown. They lost a match against the Kloss brothers. The first time the Kloss brothers beat them. And it was largely because Benny was just, I guess he got kind of full of himself. They're both really independent, competitive, strong-willed individuals. But Benny was getting to be a bit arrogant about all their success. Rory, he's like, yeah, we won, that's cool. Ooh, there's a nice armbar takedown. And they are both very well versed in submission wrestling. Of course, Rory coming from an MMA background, along with, quite a few of the other competitors in this division. Benny doesn't have the MMA background, but he does have a really strong wrestling background. So they lost that match, and it wasn't so much, I guess, that Benny was just being arrogant that lost him the match. It was Rory was trying to teach him a lesson. He was like, okay, fine, you think you're so damn good, win this on your own. And he fucked off. He left, and Benny got his ass kicked pretty thoroughly. And of course, instead of learning the lesson, Benny blamed Rory. There's a 1-2 on the Northern Lights. I have to give it to Benny. He does have absolutely beautiful suplexes. Picture perfect bridge. Well, here he's calling for something again. See what he does here. And gets around behind, and again, absolutely picture perfect German with a bridge. Which is, of course, what a proper German suplex is. If it's a release suplex, it's actually belly to back. Release. Suplex, belly to back suplex, belly to back suplex with a bridge. It's a German, or if you hold on it anyway, it is a German suplex. Oh, big kick in the corner. There is a pin off the knockout blow. 2. Only 2 count. It wasn't quite a knockout. It just stunned him. It must have been. Benny been bleeding pretty good here. Oh, he's going up top again. He likes to use those diving headbutts. Benny manages to get up at the last second. I'm not sure if he just kind of glanced up against Rory, or if he just that angle made it look like he hit him when he didn't. Goes up top again. Rory takes him off the top. 2 count. So, if you can't tell where I was going with their backstory, they got into quite a feud with each other. The tag team, of course, fell apart completely. They haven't, been in a ring with each other except to try and kill each other. Well, not literally, but it got really nasty. If there's any feud that I wish I had footage of that I could show you for the YouTube show, it would be this one because they really got nasty with each other. But looks like we might have it heating back up here again, so I guess we're going to have some new footage from this continuation of their feud. There is a nice belly to back. No, belly to belly suplex. Pretty much a perfect belly to belly. There is a big backdrop. High angle backdrop. Benny taunting some more. Fisherman suplex of his own, but into the ropes just as Rory's was. They both used that as a kind of a soft finisher, if you will. Something to finish somebody that doesn't need anything more substantial to take them out, but not really going to be successful against either of these two, I don't think. Big power slam. Both like to use submission generally to finish off their opponents, although they both will use suplexes to do so as well. And oh, there is a brainbuster. That could have really taken the wind out of Rory. Into the ropes. Ropes caught. Oh, and another big kick. Come on, get him down. Should have gone for a pin there. Rory not taking advantage, but he takes him down with a big twisting uppercut or elbow there, but only a 2 count. Benny is very tough. Both of these guys are very tough. Both have held this title before, trading it with Frankie a few times. Frankie kind of cemented himself into this division early on. So did these two. But we've tried to keep them away from each other, but Benny was the one up next for a title shot, so this was unavoidable. So depending on what happens here, we could see this feud kicking off again. But that just depends on what happens. There is another one of those big twisting uppercut or elbows. Kind of hard to see exactly what part of his body is hitting him. Calling for something. Has a hold of him. Goes behind. Oh, one. Yeah, we're going to see the chain Germans. That's one of Benny's specialties he likes to use. Oh. And a little taunt, and 1, 2, 3. And Benny's got the title. Benny just got the win. And Rory this was his first defense for the title, so he does not get an automatic rematch. So he's going to have to work his way back up through the title division, and if he wants another shot at that title. So it looks like the feud is going to be put on cooler for the moment. But don't be surprised if we see more of those two going up against each other, because like I said, they hate each other. I mean, the feud that happened right after that breakup of their tag team was horrendous. I mean, there was, there is a lot of bad blood there, so don't be surprised to see those two again later on down the road sometime. But for now, Rory's back at the bottom of the ranking. Benny is standing at top of holding that, the top of the mountain, holding that championship. We'll just have to wait and see who gets that next title shot, who goes up against Benny, and of course we've got more competitors who you will be seeing in the Stalwart division. But up next we've got, for Havok for the holidays, we've got Angel of Death defending his Savage Heart title against Togi Makabe from New Japan Pro Wrestling. So stay tuned. We'll see you there. Bye-bye.